well, they save it as a single universe and reboot the DC universe. But the point is that they realize that they were wrong, and they say, you know what, you guys get to all just operate independently and do whatever you want. We're going to leave with these hot Zamorans and hook up or whatever. This leads to the Green Lantern Corps era with no direction, a bunch of Hal Jordan's friends all live on Earth and operate as Green Lanterns, doing whatever they feel is right as a group. You know, the authoritarian nature is removed as the Guardians are gone. Now, of course, as always with comics, it eventually went back to the status quo. You know, this leads eventually to the Emerald Twilight story, where Hal Jordan talks about how much he's given for the Corps, questions the Guardians, and the Guardians kind of say, yeah, you know what, you're pretty unstable, give us your ring back. And Hal Jordan says no to that, and goes after them. This destroys the Corps, once again putting it in an anti-authoritarian position, as you only have one Green Lantern who just does superhero stuff like all the other superheroes. No big bosses in charge that are supposed to be all wise, all knowing, and, you know, super beneficial to everyone. The Green Lantern Corps get created again during the Jeff Johns era, but throughout the whole time, it would constantly feature them questioning the Guardians. Not only that, but it felt like the Green Lantern Corps was just like perpetually under attack. You hardly ever saw them actually doing like the policing, going after villains thing, because for the most part, instead of, you know, exercising authority and going out and doing anything, they were mostly just being attacked by the Sinestro Corps, the Red Lanterns, etc., etc. The run even ends with the Guardians being villains by the end of it all. They decide to turn everyone into emotionless zombies to make the universe a peaceful place finally. Even after all that, with like the Green Lanterns being in charge of themselves again, they even go further to have, you know, an anti-authoritarian sort of spin on it by having Hal Jordan leave the Corps for a brief period of time, operating on his own as essentially an outlaw with this gauntlet. Now, how they've combated this in modern times is they've now finally created an organization called the United Planets that the Green Lanterns are contracted to, you know, be their sort of first responders. Not only that, but Green Lanterns go from planet to planet and get contracts signed, so they have the permission of the people that live in these galaxies to then go and police them and, you know, help them however they may need it. This really helps pull back on the we have these wise, all-knowing, definitely always benevolent blue guys that just tell the universe what to do.